Welcome, Climate Viewers. This is Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News. Hope you're having a happy holidays. Merry Christmas. So we're going to talk today about the SolarWinds hack, why it's in the news, and why this is not new news. It's just questionable why it is in the news today. As some of you may not know, I've covered cybersecurity for a long time, in addition to geoengineering and weather modification. You can check out all that information on climateviewer.com/privacy. But there's more to this story than you're being told. And I think that it's very pertinent right now to divert from talking about weather control to really give everybody the backstory on this. Welcome, Freedom Prospector, Carlos Skywatcher, all the other climate viewers out there that are about to tune in. So I don't want to waste any time with this because I want to get through it quickly. I know people have a short amount of time. It's the holidays, but we got a lot to cover. So let's jump right into it. So over here on the SolarWinds.com website, we have the SolarWinds Security Advisory, recently updated December 20th. That's today at 9:30 a.m. And they give some of the information on the background of the hack. And, you know, like I always say, on my YouTube video, if you guys don't know about my YouTube channel, you can come over here and please subscribe. It's youtube.com/Jim Lee-ClimateViewer. All of the links in the video you're about to watch will be, pinned at the bottom of the video, so you'll be able to get to all these links as very easily. And of course, you can always support my stream by donating on patreon.com/climateviewer, paypal.me/climateviewer, or gofundme.com/climateviewer. I had a couple people who were having a problem with the GoFundMe. That has obviously been resolved, so be sure to check that out. All right, so let's go back to this thing here. As you can see, if you've never heard of the CERT team, U.S. CERT team, they've got two advisories on this. Active exploitation of SolarWinds software, December 14th, 2020. And the official alert, Advanced Persistent Threat, APT, compromise of government agencies, critical infrastructure, and private sector organizations, December 17th. Last revised December 19th. So you can hear all the information on the advanced persistent threat of the SolarWinds hack. But here's the thing. This is not new news. And if you're wondering where this comes from, let's get a little bit of politics involved in this. I tend to steer clear of politics, but this has definitely got some political ramifications to it. So we're going to hop over here and just let Chuck Schumer take it away.
It hasn't been delayed, but he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told,
you heard it.
Sunday have 6 on the intelligence community. They have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So
this is right. This is Chuck Schumer talking about Trump making a comment that was kind of dissing on the CIA. And as we know that for 4 years straight, basically Trump caught hell from the entire intel community, from the CIA to the FBI. 50 CIA. Just one second. So he's going to take, obviously we're going to have a CIA problem because he insulted them. If you want to know more about this SolarWinds video, this hack, definitely check out my friend, Quite Frankly. And he just recently did a video on this Chinese, Venona, Michigan, and SolarWinds, where he goes really into detail about the SolarWinds hack. But I want to take you back in time to 2012. Now, I wrote this article on my original blog before there was a ClimateViewer.com. And as you can see, this is dated October 1st, 2012. Iranian Chinese hackers can shut power off. USA grossly unprepared for cyber war. And the first article up is keeping nukes safe from cyber attack. What did we just recently hear? That the nuclear, arsenal codes are not safe. This is dated 2012, and even back then, we had the same problem. In the wake of a 2010 incident in which the Air Force lost contact with 50 intercontinental ballistic missiles. So this is not something new. This has been ongoing for a very long time. The Iranian hacker that owns the world, he literally hacked Mozilla, which is Firefox, Live.com, which is Microsoft, Skype, Yahoo, Google, all same day. He made fake SSL certificates and hacked them all same day, and then goes on to brag about it. I'm not going to go through all the bragging and everything, but he makes an interesting comment right here. Nobody writes about HARP. Nobody writes about Echelon. This is before Ed Snowden, before we knew that it was called the Stone Ghost Network, or the Five Eyes, or Nine Eyes, the 13 Eyes, the intelligence agencies that spy on everyone. I won't let anyone inside Iran harm my people of Iran or my country's nuclear scientists. To Microsoft, Mozilla, and Chrome, who updated their software as soon as instructions came from the CIA. You're my targets too. Why Stuxnet printer vulnerability patched after 2 years? Because it was in need of Stuxnet. Stuxnet was a virus, a cyber warfare tool written by the U.S. government and the Israeli government to destroy the Bashir nuclear power plant. It actually caused the centrifuges to spin out of control. So it was a hardware virus, malware, that attacked the devices inside the nuclear power plant, rendering it useless. Moving on. So then, of course, Anonymous, hacked several defense contracts. Digital Notar was also part of that. They called it the Komodo SSL hack, or DigiNotar. How Iran hacked a super secret CIA stealth drone. Now, you may not have heard about this one either. This was 2011. Infographic how U.S. top secret stealth drone was captured by Iran December 17, 2011. And they basically show in Kandahar the remote controllers. And then over here in Iran, how they sent a jamming signal and stole it. And then what do you know? U.S. stealthy RQ-170 model on display in Tehran in February. Rallies with extracted landing gear. Right there, and here's another photo of it. This is our top secret, top of the line CIA drone, hacked by Iran, stolen, and more posters of it there. And a lot of, information, even back in 2011, 2012, I was, filling articles full of links and references, because I don't appreciate it when people tell you a whole lot of stuff and then don't give you the information to go research it yourself. Make your own informed decisions. So that's always been a thing I did. Interestingly enough, I had just mentioned this in October 11th, 2020, in a video, Geoengineering and Weather Control News, October 11th, 2020, where you can see that Iran's IRGC is using that RQ-170 drone to seed clouds. So isn't that a interesting, come back to the future kind of moment there, where the top secret drone that they hacked and stole from the CIA is now being used to do weather control over Iran. Confirmation, yes. Crazy, not so crazy. Anyway, here's one of the main problems that we have. So, Chinese delegation currently in Iran to copy the U.S. stealthy RQ-170 drone, showing the collusion between Iran and China, stealing, our intellectual property at every possibility. So not only did Iran get a copy of the drone, so did China. U.S. cybersecurity head quits, citing growing role of spy agencies. And this is really, really bad stuff here. In a letter to Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano last week, Beckstrom said that the NSA dominates most national cyber efforts and effectively controls the Department of Homeland Security cyber efforts through detailees, technology insertions, and proposed move of the NCSC to an NSA facility at the agency's Fort Meade, Maryland headquarters. Quote, I believe this is a bad strategy on multiple grounds, wrote Beckstrom in the letter, a copy of which was obtained by UPI. The intelligence culture is very different than a network operations or security culture. In addition, threats to our democratic processes are significant if all the top-level government network security and monitoring are handled by one organization, effectively giving the NSA control over our elections. So do you like the fact that the NSA and the CIA have direct access to all of the voting information? Do I really need to go back and play Schumer one more time for you, saying that they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you, and then we see all the shenanigans going on in the election today? Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Next up, U.S. Cybersecurity Chief Randy Vickers quits after hacker attacks July 26, 2011. Same kind of deal. And then finally, U.S. Cyber Czar Howard Schmidt resigns. So that's 3 heads of cybersecurity in America quitting in a row under Obama because basically, struggled to reach agreement with lawmakers on the best way to protect the nation's key computer networks from attack. Now, a lot of this has to do with the fact that you have these no-bid contracts, and at the time, back in 2012, there were a lot of people who were complaining about Juniper Networks having their hardware firewalls installed in all of these top security clearance areas. And even though they were outdated and they should be updated with newer models, Cisco or maybe even SonicWall, something better, that these old Juniper firewalls were being used. And I may be wrong about Juniper. It was one of the companies. But basically, they were in these no-bid contracts where even though they wanted better stuff to protect our assets, the agencies couldn't get them. That's capitalism and lobbying at its finest right there. So are these vulnerabilities by design, or are they just capitalism gone wrong plus lobbying? You make that decision. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'd be interested to hear your opinion, especially if you have any kind of cybersecurity background or intelligence background. But moving on, we're going to kind of fly past this section because this is all about how Anonymous hacked HB Gary, Palantir, Barrico, a bunch of defense contractors who were trying to discredit WikiLeaks. And they actually targeted an American journalist, Glenn Greenwald, and which is, insane on its own, and a video for another day. But I've covered this in detail. You can check it out over on climateviewer.com/privacy, New World Order Technocrats and the Surveillance State. Lots of other documentation on that there. But anyway, spy games inside the convoluted plot to bring down WikiLeaks, and how the CIA literally targeted, American citizens, even though they're not supposed to do that sort of thing. Blatant proof of it. This is anti-sec, lulsec, hacking Stratfor. They were up next. But we're going to skip past this let's get focus on the Chinese now. So you may not have heard about Operation Aurora or the Night Dragon operations. But basically, these are the People's Liberation Army, the hacker army in China, and how they were targeting, very big organizations all across America. And this is in 2012, mind you. Now, I worked in a tire shop, and you can't make this stuff up. Okay, China's hacker army Google hack attack was ultra sophisticated. New details show 2010 Operation Aurora. And this is called Hacker in a Nutshell. This is a spreadsheet from one of the Chinese hackers. Like I said, I go very deep into this. I've been, I was a hacker at age 12. I'm 44 now. I'm no longer hacking anything. I use my forces for good, and I don't go playing around in other people's boxes. But I do know a lot about security, and I have protected my networks well. I've protected companies' networks well. So this is not just coming from some guy who's talking out his ass here. But the idea of the infinite cyberspace, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, William Shakespeare. That, if you can control the cyberspace, this is part of Space Force. This is part of, the new warfare. World War III started before 2010. And we need to acknowledge that. And that this has been an ongoing threat since before 2010. So we're talking 10 years on. Now, magically, it's in the news every single freaking day. It blows my mind. Chinese hackers have control of U.S. power grid right there. The company whose software and services remotely administers and monitors large sections of the U.S. energy industry began warning customers about a sophisticated hacker attack. 2010. And, in a lot of the, hacker forums, we literally had, people talking at length. I mean, straight up bragging. I'm a Chinese hacker. We could shut the U.S.'s power off in a minute. So that's how serious this is. And people don't understand this, that, this has been going on since 2010. So I keep asking myself, why today? Why are we, finally hearing across all of the mainstream media that this SolarWinds thing is a big damn deal, when we've known about it forever? It just blows my mind. So I'm going to take you back in time one more time. This is the Night Dragon attacks right here. Night Dragon operation. You can read all about it. This is cyber attacks that started mid-2006. And it was a cyber espionage and intrusion attack by the Chinese. And you move on to the other Night Dragon attacks from China strike energy companies, February 10, 2011. Right here, Chinese hackers have control of U.S. power grid, 28 September 2012. Chinese hackers blamed for intrusion at energy industry giant Telvent, 26 September 2012. This is not new news, okay? Not to any hacker, not to anybody who's in the, IT sec community. Certainly not to your black hats, white hats, or any color hat in between. Operation Aurora, check it out yourself. Do a little background on it. You'll realize it's been bigger, it's been worse, it's only going to get worse. Now, why am I pointing all this out? Why did I start with Chucky Schumer and them? Let's play it one more time just for the record.
Shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
Let me tell you, you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
Really dumb to do this. Why? If you missed it, now a lot of you heard about WikiLeaks, and you probably heard about Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and maybe even Chelsea Manning. But did you hear about the CIA Vault 7 hacking tools revealed? And this is the one I really want you to pay attention to, because this really gets to the heart of things, of what I need to move my picture, how like center myself up more. Just that my kitchen's showing. So this is really where I'm going with this. So what was revealed in the Vault 7 and what's being said in the mainstream media now? By the way, is the camera better there? You like that better? Just I was looking at chat there for a moment, and you need to move your camera. So hey, I moved it over. So why am I bringing all of this up? Because in the media right now, they're saying that for sure this SolarWinds attack came from Russia. Had to be Russia. And I'm saying, well, there's something interesting in this CIA Vault 7 that was revealed. WikiLeaks CIA dump gives Russian hacking deniers the perfect ammo. 3/2017. Days after President Trump baselessly tweeted that Obama administration had wiretapped Trump Tower, a theory that first emerged on conservative talk radios, WikiLeaks released its latest treasure trove revealing how extensive the Obama administration's surveillance capacity was. One nugget of particular interest to Trump supporters, a section titled Umbrage, that details the CIA's ability to impersonate cyber attack techniques used by Russia and other nation states. In theory, that means the agency could have faked digital forensic fingerprints to make the Russians look guilty of hacking the Democrat National Committee. Now, this is called spoofing. For those who've never heard the term spoofing, what you basically do is when you're doing an attack, you don't do it from your house. You go to, let's give you an example. I'll make this personal. If I wanted to hack something, I'd go get a throwaway laptop. I'd go to the local Wi-Fi at the McDonald's. And then I'd connect to a virtual private network. Then I would connect to a virtual private server, a VPS, which I then routed my information through to a VPS in Russia, which I then routed to computers that I had violated in Russia. And then I would launch my attack from there, so that whenever people went to go to try to put the puzzle back together, they would see that the attack came from Russia. Now, anybody can do this. 12-year-old kids can do this. And the CIA certainly can do this. So did the SolarWinds attacks come from Russia? Did they come from the CIA? Did they come from China? Flip your frickin' coin. But my bet is that when you have a guy like Donald Trump, who literally called out the intelligence communities, when you have a guy like Chuck Schumer saying 6 ways from Sunday to get back at you, when you've got the entire mainstream media now jumping on the bandwagon to say it was Russia. All I've heard about is Russia for 4 damn years. Nobody will talk about China. And the reason why is them dollars. That's where they're making their money, whether it's the media, whether it's the politicians, whether it's the NBA kissing China's ass or the sneaker companies because they make all their stuff there, or whether it's even the video game industry. Do you know that Call of Duty literally censored parts of its game to make the Chinese happy so that they could actually sell it there? Guccifer, don't even get me started. Guccifer was CIA, no doubt about it. Guccifer was CIA. So at the end of the day, you've got companies bending over backwards to kiss Chinese ass because 1 billion people to sell crap to. They will throw every constitutional, thing that makes America beautiful, great, and free out the window if they can make money in China. Like they have no morals whatsoever. So we're in the same boat again today. We got SolarWinds. It's on every mainstream media channel, which tells me right here, look at the sidebar. Russia's SolarWind hack is a historic mess. This is Wired.com. I didn't even see that beforehand. It's right there on the sidebar. Russia's SolarWind hack. Okay, so everything is Russia. It's been Russia for 4 years. It's Russia today. Russia did SolarWinds. End of story, right? Bullshit. I mean, it's time to call bullshit. It's very clear that anybody who's following politics right now knows without a doubt, beyond any shred of a doubt, that Joe Biden and even what's his name, Fartwell. That guy, Eric Swalwell, being on the intelligence community, compromised by a Chinese honeypot. Basically, they're all in bed with China, and greed at the wheelhouse. Yes, that greed trumps people's ability to really care about this country and freedom and things like that. 7 facts about Vault 7 CIA hacking tool dumped by WikiLeaks. About how it can get into the firmware or the actual hardware of your computer. I had that happen to my computer as well. Bill Binney is a legend. Most people don't even know about Bill Binney. He was before Edward Snowden. I was talking about this. You can go to my Twitter, twitter.com/resonated, REZNAD, and you can see that I was talking about this before Edward Snowden. And it was called Echelon back in the day. But anyway, side note, chat, you distracted me. Let me get through this. We're trying to keep this short. You need to know about the Vault 7 hacking tools. You need to know that the CIA and the NSA have tools where they can fake a hack from anywhere in the world. That the entire mainstream media is saying it's Russia. That our incoming president is compromised by China, is bought and paid for by China. Those are facts. That all of these companies are bought and paid for by China. That China has infiltrated every single sector of the United States economy, politics, and cybersecurity. When I was working at a local tire shop, this is the truth now, I ran about 90 computers at 5 stores, and I spent the better part of 6 months trying to kick the Chinese government out of our network, which I did, and that's how I learned about the Night Dragon attacks and Operation Aurora. The goal was economic warfare, that they were hacking into a local tire shop to get information on who the owner was, what our pricing was, so that they could phishing email, and in some cases, not just phishing, just regular email. You pay $120 for Goodyear tires. We will sell you Xinjiang tire for $79. So the purpose of this economic cyber espionage isn't just at the top levels of government, in the power industry. in the nuclear launch codes. It's all the way down to freaking tire shops. So like every single business in America is being targeted for economic warfare through cyber warfare. And the CIA can literally fake an attack from anywhere in the world. Hell, I can do that. So I know they've got better tools than I do. And any good hacker with half a brain can do this as well. Look up zombie nets, or what you call distributed denial of services. You just basically infect a bunch of PCs in a foreign country and you click your laser beam and boom, the website's offline. So this is the problem. Yeah, those tires do fall apart in 3 months. Trust me on that one. Get yourself some Kelly or Goodyear or some American-made tires. So I've covered all this in detail in a FAQ, a frequently asked question format, on climateviewer.com/privacy. If you want an overview of how this works, and people talk a lot about the New World Order. And I talk a lot about technocrats, but what people don't realize is the people running everything at the top end are obviously the bankers, but they miss out on the signals intelligence people. These people that Chuck Schumer's talking about, they run the world, and they have for a while, and they will continue to. And the five eyes of the New World Order are Oz-Can-Zuckus. That is the word for today. Oz-Can-Zuckus. Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, US. This started right after World War II. It was called the British-UK Agreement, BRUK Agreement, where basically America said, we'll come in and we'll save your ass, but in order to do so, you're going to have to give all of your signals intelligence or your wiretapping information, all of that, to America, to the NSA, and then we'll come in and save your butt. And then it grew from there to include Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. But that formed the Five Eyes. So they're at the top of the group, and then it moved on to include the Nine Eyes, which is Denmark, France, Netherlands, Norway, and finally the 14 Eyes, which includes Germany, Belgium, Italy, Spain, and Sweden. So these are the 14 eyes of the Signals Intelligence New World Order that are all out there gathering information on everything in the world. Yet China just keeps on kicking our ass, which is amazing to me. Which is amazing that people don't know about it, and you need to get educated quickly on this thing. And you can read all about this just by clicking on this. Russia buys access to Stone Ghost Network. Basically for between $2,800 to $3,000 a month, they were paying a dude to literally get on the Stone Ghost Network and look up anywhere. Israel has full unmasked access to Stone Ghost Network. U.S. corporations access Stone Ghost. The list goes on. All of this is referenced like you would not believe. Stone Ghost versus WikiLeaks, mentioned that earlier. Stone Ghost and Monsanto versus anti-GMO activists in Paris, and an entire timelines of the Five Eyes, Oz-Can-Zuckus, Stone Ghost, and the New World Order, with references. Oh, by the way, I go a step further, and this has got me in more trouble than anything I've ever done in my whole damn life. But old Jimmy Boy decided to go and map out all of the spy facilities around the world. So let me go over here to this map list, and I'm just going to turn off the drones over America real quick. And we're going to turn off the Department of Homeland Security fusion centers and focus just on the spy facilities. And, hey, appreciate you following, man. Chicago 50? Appreciate you. So all of these, you can click on them. You can see the Comprehensive National Cybersecurity Initiative Data Center, also known as the Utah Data Center, codename Bumblehive. This is over in Salt Lake City, Utah, and this is where Hillary Clinton's deleted emails are. This is where the NSA stores everything. This is the largest data collection facility in the world. You can see some photos over here on the sidebar. Well, let me get my face out of the way for this right here. And as you can see, Here's a photo of it. Here's an overhead photo of it. And if you just click right here on the base map, go to satellite, come over here, you can just click on that bad boy and then zoom right in on it. And what you'll see is it's a pretty damn accurate map because that matches up pretty nicely. So got in a lot of trouble for, looking all this stuff up and putting some bullseyes on all these targets. But, knowing is half the battle. Is the way I look at it. So if you want to know where all of this is coming from, you can actually see all of the different spy facilities around the world. These are the undersea cables where all the data flows. Nothing in Nevada. There's stuff in Nevada. Trust me, there's way more than I have right here. This is just what I was able to put together in about a month before losing my freaking mind and saying, you know what, I need to stop because I was over here in the Virginia area, Washington, D.C., and, just going through these. George Bush CIA headquarters, the intelligence training center called the Hammer, Defense DIA headquarters, the list goes on and on. National Maritime Intelligence Center, NSA headquarters at Fort Meade, mentioned that earlier, Dorsey Warehouse, lots of crazy stuff in here. But then you can come over here and you can see like GCHQ, looks like a damn spaceship, government communications headquarters in Britain, and many of the different, spy facilities around the world. What used to be called echelon stations, where they actually have the little golf balls that listen to the satellite signals. So they're not just listening to the ground-based cables. They're intercepting signals from space. So lots of dishes with radars, listening in to different, signals from around the world. One of the biggest is actually down here in Australia. If you guys haven't ever seen this one, but it's right up here. And that's not it. That's the Humpty Doo. All right, Shoal Bay receiving area. No, it's this one. This is the Joint Defense Facility at Pine Gap. Really big one. Center Australia. Busy listening to everything going on in this entire area of interest. Mainly this. China. Everything China. This video all day China. That's what this video is about. China. China, China, China. I'm going to get banned. They're going to block this video. It will be censored. Know that fact. It will be censored hugely. But anyway. So I think that we've covered everything. And I really wanted to just bring a bigger picture to this. So my bigger picture, my gut reaction to all of what I'm seeing going on right now is that this is the intelligence agency fighting back and either distracting from the Hunter Biden scandal, the fact that Joe Biden's bought and paid for, or beating the drums of war. Because as I've learned, from history, that there's always a justification for war. And in order to justify, their existence, there has to be a threat. So it's just like, as an IT guy, if nobody's ever hacking into our network in the tire shop, if none of the computers ever break, why does Jimmy have a job to secure the network? And the same is true with all of these three-letter agencies. Why would we need a CIA, a NSA, all of these different organizations if there wasn't some sort of external threat? There was an imminent threat, an existential threat to the livelihood of, and longevity of the United States. That's what this is all about. So I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that, the CIA with their Vault 7 toys are blaming this attack on Russia. That's where my gut's at. And it's going to take some real proven on the part of all these defense contractors and security analysts to convince me otherwise, because 50 CIA guys signed a letter swearing that Donald Trump, the Russians hacked the election and all that stuff before, and that you could just line them up and they'll just all jump on board and say, "Yep, that's the facts." You will never know the facts. I will never know the facts. All we can do is take the preponderance of evidence and then look at it from our lowly position and make our judgment. And I believe that, but why would the Alphabet Agency install a Chinese puppet? That is the question of the day. Riddle me this, all the climate viewers, my email, jim@climateviewer.com, obviously the YouTube video, leave me a comment. Why do you think that Nancy has not kicked Eric Fartwell, I can't help it, Eric Swalwell off the Intelligence Committee? Why has Joe Biden been allowed to sit in his basement for a year and then just get installed into the office, despite the fact they knew that he was compromised by China? Why is he naming head of Facebook to his cabinet as an ambassador to China, who's a dude who literally bent over backwards to kiss China's ass? Walt Disney executives who kissed China's ass. I mean, all of these guys are coming into the government right now, and they all bend over backwards to kiss China's ass. So why is this happening? Is this a military coup? Is this intentionally letting down destroying the castle walls and letting the enemy in? Is this the Trojan horse of the apocalypse for the United States? Or is there something else at work here? I'm just calling balls and strikes. And what I see is the ability for the CIA to blame the SolarWinds attack on Russia. Everything Russia, always blame Russia. Never talk about China. You're not allowed to do it. And YouTube and Google and Alphabet, they have definitely bent over backwards, as well as Apple, to appease the Chinese overlords in their Play stores and the Apple App Store, removing things like ExpressVPN, things that help people to circumvent the Great Firewall of China, making sure that any software that's released in China, that the source code of it is given to China. They will do anything to get into China to make a buck. And apparently our politicians will do the same. And I mean, short of having, something like this is called a John Doe phone. All right. This is a phone that has no internal circuitry whatsoever, can be used anywhere in the world, and literally has a pin you pull out and you flip the back right here, and it has a little sheet of paper, which I've long since lost, but that's your contact list. So this is an unhackable phone. Okay, John Doe phone. It says John's phone on it right there. Short of having devices like this, every single digital device on the internet that you've ever bought is got some kind of internal circuitry in it that if it isn't hacked today, it will be tomorrow. Every single web server, so when they talk about putting your healthcare data on the internet, there is not a computer system that is not vulnerable, that cannot be broken at some point in the future. And these are called zero-day vulnerabilities. The reason why they're called zero-day is because today, as of today, nobody has detected it. And the CIA, the NSA, the Chinese PLA, the Iranian IRCQ or whatever, Russia's, intelligence agencies, they are constantly coming up with zero-day viruses so that they can break into things, and they don't want any of the cybersecurity industry to find out about it. That's their job. They're even private corporations like Finn Fisher. Their job is to figure out how to hack into these systems. So the only solution for the future is open source hardware with an open source operating system where everything is open source, from the hardware to the software like Linux, all the way to the software on your computer, to constant vulnerability scanning. And the problem with that is that, generally speaking, the guys running the street lights in your hometown, they're idiots. The guys running the local internet service provider, they're idiots. The people at the firewall companies, when I was working at Fraser Tower, I was calling freaking Sonic Wall. I'm literally on the phone with people making $100,000+ a year going, do you know what a TCP IP split handshake attack is? Okay, do you know what a man in the middle attack is? Do you understand what a split handshake is? Do you understand what a TCP IP handshake is? They're all idiots. So, is this problem going away anytime soon? No. Is this a digital Pearl Harbor? Possibly. Is it from Russia? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. These guys probably know. CIA, NSA. Will we ever know the truth? That is to be seen. If you're going to find out the truth, you're not going to find out on the mainstream media. You're damn sure not going to find out from any of our government agencies. You will find out the truth somewhere deep in 4chan, on the dark net, in a forum where people are showing what's called a proof of hack. And we'll close with what an actual proof of hack looks like, and I'll go back up to the Komodo SSL hacker. But whenever he did his hacks, this is the gold standard for proving you actually hack some crap. You go ahead and you do this, and it's on Payspin. Another proof of hack of Komodo hacker, and it looks like this. Let's see if it's still there. Of course, everything is still there. Some stupid still doesn't believe I pwned Komodo. Here's another proof for the tiny brains who can't believe. And this will show actual region namespace import declarations using what systems. This is Java public class ASCR. And then he actually shows his actual code, secure.komodo.net/products. That's where he was actually breaking in at. The HTTP web requests, the init strings, and all of that. This is what you call a proof of hack. Now, unless you actually see a proof of hack on the SolarWinds attack, and then you'll know. And other hackers can look at this and go, that's real, that happened. And this guy didn't just go there. He went full on and posted multiple proofs of hacks that he had hacked, Google, Yahoo, Facebook, all these same day, all in one hack. That's the only way we're going to know for certain who did the SolarWinds attack. But like I said, my gut's leaning towards this was another inside job, or the Chinese government. Probably not Russia. And that's not me kissing Russia's ass. That's just me speaking my truth at a time when I feel like not very many people have the guts to, especially when it comes to China. They're scared to death of them. I can honestly tell you that 5 years ago, there was a time when I literally thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't talk about this Chinese hacking stuff so much because they do kill people. But right now, it's just too damn important not to speak the truth. And the truth is, Joe Biden and company are paid off, bought, and shills for the Chinese government. Most American corporations are shills for the Chinese government, and it's all about that almighty dollar, or their money, and that's sad. So, what are we to do about it? Never forget that a small group of dedicated individuals can change the planet. In fact, they're the only thing that ever has. Speak truth to power. Get educated about this. Knowing is half the battle, and the rest is actually getting out and doing something about it. We need to hold people's feet to the fire about this. You need to be vigilant yourself. It is time that each and every one of you learn some basic fundamental cybersecurity skills. Learn about vulnerability scanning. Make sure you update your software. I know at least half the people watching this video are looking down in the bottom corner going, there's that button that says you have updates and I haven't clicked it for months. Click that, okay? But it's really incumbent on all of us to learn cybersecurity, to understand it at least somewhat, and be able to read between the lines. And when I'm reading between the lines, it's screaming CIA Vault 7, spoofing attack, set up for war. Anti-sec was FBI, by the way, just saying. Zag says this. Anti-sec, before that lulsec, Sabu was actually caught by the FBI, and he was working out of FBI offices to attack foreign governments while turning in fellow anonymous members. And that's as much as I'm going to say about that. But I know exactly what you're talking about, dog. Sabu. Look up Sabu and FBI, and you'll jump into a deep rabbit hole. But that's enough for this video. I really appreciate you guys tuning into this. I feel like I've said everything I got to say about it. All the links will be in the details. I hope you guys will really dig into this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I asked a couple different questions in this video. Why would they let the Chinese government basically into the presidency? Who do you think's behind these SolarWinds attacks? All right. Appreciate the sub. And guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. Please continue to support my work. You can do that over on Patreon. Give a monthly donation or a one-time donation on PayPal or GoFundMe. The GoFundMe should be working now. Apparently, GoFundMe did a transition where they literally deleted all of the old fundraisers they had, and literally had emailed me saying, which ones do you want to recreate? I said the ClimateViewer one, and they screwed that up. So that's working again. Please support me there, and share this video, because sharing is caring. You can continue to support. Wrong button. No, that's not it. That's my PC. That's my new stream setup. Well, I'm clicking all over this. I need to set my stream deck back up so I can just press these buttons in front of me instead of having to look over at the other screen. I'll do that next video. Try to get this a little more professional. But Merry Christmas to everybody. Keep watching the news. Keep suspicious eye and ear whenever you're listening to it. And just remember that we got to remember to love one another despite our differences, to keep an open dialogue with those we disagree with, and to attack ideas, not people. Love you, mean it. Have a wonderful holidays and a happy new year. If this video resonates with you, leave me a comment, because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. The bell doesn't always work, so come to ClimateViewer.com and sign up for our newsletter. Remember, it would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people.